It is not a Victory Tuesday, but despite that, we have a lot to talk about. So let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray keeps it downfield. It's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And I am feeling a little sick, and not in the good way. A little sick to my stomach this morning. Despite the Cardinals having a really rough season, you never want to see it end in this way. Not to say that everything is done and over with. I mean, obviously, playoffs are out of reach at this point. We still have games to play. There are still some teams on the bubble hanging in the balance that the Cardinals will be playing. So there's still football to be played, but any hopes we had left for a playoff is dashed with the headline of the morning, which is not a surprise, the non-contact knee injury of Kyler Murray. Just 3 plays into the game and he went down. I think everybody that was watching pretty much knew immediately that not only was he not going to be back during that game, it's season ending. And from the looks of it, from the rumors, it looks like he could potentially be out all of next season, depending on the severity of this injury. Of course, I'm not here spreading rumors. I am just a fanalist sharing my fandom / analyst stuff with you, the things that I read, the things that I watch, putting in the time so that you don't have to. What I'm seeing here is that it looks like an ACL injury. And like I said, depending on the severity, what I'm reading is he could be out next season. So where does that leave us as a team? Do we continue to bank on Colt McCoy, 36-year-old quarterback? Do we trade for an existing, perhaps slightly younger or more talented quarterback who is backing up someone else? Do we use one of our much needed draft picks to pick up a rookie quarterback? There are several different ways that this could go down, of course, but as I mentioned, just being a fanalist, all I can do is speculate, kind of like the rest of you. But shoot, it's just really a crazy thing to watch, to go to sleep with, to wake up to, and realize that this is the end of the 2022 season, and we're already looking ahead into the 2023 season. We had high hopes of having a fully healthy team. Ertz has his own knee injuries. He's not a spring chicken either, but he is a very decorated and talented player who we would hope to have back next season. We have a healthy DeAndre Hopkins. We have a healthy Marquise Hollywood Brown. We would hope to have a healthy Rondale Moore back on the field. We have a healthy James Conner. Things were looking up beyond this season. And I feel like they still can be looking up. It just depends on what happens with this injury, what happens with this quarterback situation. I would love it if you would tweet me at Kelly in Phoenix or at the pod, Sick Pod Kelly. Let us know what you think the Cardinals should do in this situation. Do you think they should trade? Do you think they should draft? Do you think Colt McCoy has what it takes to carry them through a season? Frankly, I think Colt McCoy gets the job done. He's one of the more competent backup quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think he's along the same lines as like a Tyler Huntley. I love Tyler Huntley as well as a backup quarterback. Maybe we can get him. But like I said, I do think that Colt McCoy gets the job done at 36. That puts him on the older end. I'm far younger than I am, but I'm also not out there getting, beat up every week. And man, did he ever get beat up in this game. It was tough to watch. I heard some of the local news commentary following the game saying he's going to be sore in the morning. And I can only imagine. So kudos to Colt McCoy for going out there, taking the reins, leading the team. Something I want to call out. I really love reading The Athletic. I think they produce really great content. It seems to be, for the most part, fairly non-biased, but I disagreed with a line from The Athletic's most recent article this morning. They basically said that the Cardinals, after losing Kyler Murray, had no hope in taking down the Patriots in last night's matchup. That is very, very overdramatic in my opinion, because the Cardinals held the lead through halftime. They kept it close after halftime. They kept it tied after halftime. It was 13-13 for the longest time. And it wasn't until a fatal and very rare misstep by DeAndre Hopkins, a fumble, that resulted in a touchdown where that momentum really shifted in favor of the Patriots, where they went ahead and took the win. But yeah, I don't think all hope was lost after we lost Kyler, because we had players on the field that haven't played together in the longest of time either. So yeah, have some news from Ian Rappaport. If you follow on Twitter, Kyler Murray has torn his ACL. So that has been confirmed. Breaking news from my production team, torn ACL. The MRI has confirmed. And the season for him is over. And like I said, depending on the severity of that tear, various doctors have said that could put him out for next season. All of it, certainly most of it. Man, that is just tough to hear. Here we were just speculating, and now we get the official breaking news as we record this podcast for you today. So yes, please do tweet us at SickPodKelly and at Kelly in Phoenix. Let us know what your thoughts are for the Cardinals. What should they do for the quarterback position? Do we draft a rookie to replace Kyler Murray? Do we bring in a veteran quarterback that's currently a backup, or someone that maybe has slightly better stats than Colt McCoy? Do we keep Colt McCoy? I mean, like I said, I think the guy gets the job done. I have faith in him as a backup. Do I have faith in him as our lead quarterback, as our guy? I just don't. I'm not quite there yet. And maybe I'm being biased. Maybe I'm wrong. Definitely shout at me and let me know if I am wrong and what your thoughts are. When the Cardinals drafted Murray with their top pick in 2019, it was a season of 5 wins that went to 8 wins, that went to 11 wins. And that was the first 3 seasons with Kyler Murray. It was fantastic. And here we are this season. I believe we're at 4 wins, which is kind of where we started from before we had Kyler. And he's been signed to the 5-year contract extension. the kind of contract that Lamar Jackson was looking for, but even better than that. So he is still out there contractless. Wouldn't that be amazing? If somehow, that is Fantasyland. We would never be able to land Lamar Jackson, especially with our money tied up here in Kyler's contract, $230.5 million. He is among the league's highest paid quarterbacks. Lamar was offered a very similar contract with more money, however, less money than Deshaun Watson, and he turned it down. So we're all waiting kind of with bated breath to see what happens there in Baltimore as well. But here we are, injured Kyler, healthy rest of the team with the exception of Ertz, who is out for the rest of the season as well. It just leaves us kind of in a place of what now? What now? Do we continue to watch? Of course we continue to watch. Why wouldn't we continue to watch our team and support our team? It does make it tough because, it's not necessarily going to result in too much. However, football is a great sport. We watch it because it's fun. We watch it because we love it. At least that's why I watch it. One of my favorite Twitter follows is Lord Don't Lose on Twitter. And he said something the other day that made me think I'm a fan of every player in the NFL. And I like that. It's true. How could you root against a specific player who's out there doing his best? So let's just love the game and cheer for our team, cheer for our players, and enjoy it for the entertainment aspect. Hoping, fingers crossed, I can get our favorite beat reporter, Donnie Druin, to join us later this week and give us some inside information on what the Cardinals are thinking. In the meantime, he put together a really great highlight article for Sports Illustrated. He writes at si.com on the NFL Cardinals section. So go check out his highlights. But something he mentioned, this was the third game in a row that the Cardinals had lost. And it's just really, again, tough to watch Kyler Murray being carted off the field after only the third play. We did see other players injured during that game as well. It's quite a string. I actually didn't even realize. I did see Ramondre Stevenson go down, mainly because I had him in so many of my bets last night. It was, oh no. Ramondre Stevenson, Marco Wilson, Devontae Parker, Zach Allen, Jack Jones, all ruled out due to injury during this particular game. And that is wild. And we have a grass field. So that is a lot of the discussion is it real turf over fake turf? I don't think it makes a difference. And games like this really, really prove it. But again, I'm not an expert. Really, in the first quarter, the only real highlight that Donnie really calls out is Isaiah Simmons benefiting from a tipped pass by Cameron Thompson and managed an interception. So that was super exciting, and you can watch that clip. Actually, NFL at NFL on Twitter posted that clip of the pick by Isaiah Simmons. So that's exciting when you see your guys featured in a clip on the official NFL Twitter. There were no scoring plays, but there was that. The second quarter is where we saw points on the board by Matt Prater. So that's good because he did miss a 50-yard attempt in the first quarter, I believe. But man, 50 yards, that's a long field goal for a lot of I have words. 50 yards is a long field goal for a lot of kickers. However, it should be fairly routine as the training habits of kickers change, as their skill sets change and evolve. You see them kicking from further and further. I mean, nobody's a Justin Tucker at 66 yards, but 50 yards, long but manageable. Matt Prater missed that. However, he did kick a 30. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Matt Prater did manage to kick a 33-yard field goal in the second quarter, putting points on the board for the Cardinals at 3-0. And then following that, the next drive from New England would see the first touchdown. So, you know, there is plenty of discussion of what's next. Do the Cardinals have what it takes? They do have what it takes, because even without Kyler Murray right there in the second quarter on the next drive, James Conner scored Arizona's touchdown and regained the lead. So they were in the lead 3-0. Then they were in the lead, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0. And then there was what eventually led to 13-10 going into the locker room at halftime. So, I mean, it was an exciting game. It wasn't terrible. When Kyler went down, I thought, oh, shoot, kind of like The Athletic reported, this is it. What are we going to do? And they didn't let us down. We have a talented team. The Cardinals are talented players. We have talented people in every key position. I would like us to beef up on our tight end position if possible. That's kind of where my mind goes when we talk about rookie picks. The defensive line perhaps could use a little beefing up. Everybody always says O-line, of course. I don't think you could ever get enough protection on your offensive line. But when I think of key positions, the tight end position happens to be one of my very favorite, no pun intended. But when I look at my fantasy teams, for instance, I like to play multiple tight ends. I feel like they are the most versatile position out there, unless you're a Christian McCaffrey who seems to just play any position that they put him in. But in general, I think we could use a very, very good tight end. Wouldn't it be great to be able to snag a Mark Andrews type in the draft? I have no idea if that's where the Cardinals' head is or not. That's just where my head goes as a fan. What do you think? Where should we use our draft picks? Let me know. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts on the game, and I want to share them in our next episode later this week. We'll put some up on the screen and hear what your thoughts are. So yeah, I just wanted to get out a quick episode for you today. I like to keep it under 30 minutes, just around 15, 20 minutes, and that's where we are today. Be sure, like I said, to reach out on Twitter at Kelly and Phoenix or to the pod at SickPodKelly and let us know your thoughts about this last Monday night game versus the Patriots. Also, what do you think we should do in the quarterback position? And where do you think we should use our draft picks? Let's get some of your thoughts so I can share them later this week. Thanks again for tuning in. Without you, we wouldn't be ranking, because we are now ranking on iTunes, and that is very exciting. So thank you so much. If you happen to be in the position to think about sponsoring a little podcast like mine, also reach out, because I would love to help support your brand while you support ours, the Sick Podcast Network. See you later this week. Until then, take care. Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.